I want to live in a country that's built on values like respect, love, openness, diversity, true cultural diversity. You know, I want to live in a truly peaceful, harmonious place with justice. Some people would say that the only way to true peace, you can't have that without true justice. You know, and if we're going to have true peace, then we have to do that work. Justice work is not easy. It's hard work, and it's worth it. You know, because you can't ask me to become a part of the greater picture if you won't acknowledge my past.
I came here because I thought it would be a good way to get to know more people and to get to know more what people go through every day in their experiences, and to also share mine.
I guess I want to see more of a sense of togetherness and less stereotyping and less oppression.
There's a lot of misunderstanding and lack of communication that goes on between the different cultures that coexist in Vancouver, which are so close to each other, but they're still not aware of each other's traditions and cultures and where they're from and what their story is.
There's a phrase that Rumi, the Sufi poet, said, which was, the wound that is not witnessed does not heal. And I feel like we can read books, that's good. Watching a documentary, that's good. But when we're in the room and we're hearing a story directly, that's 10 times more strong.
Together people from so many different backgrounds and kind of pushing the barriers, people challenge themselves together. I think there's so much that can happen when you bring people together and you actually force them to think about issues that we've all been thinking about in the back of our heads, but there's actually not been a sort of process and opportunity to work together as a group, and that's the purpose of the summit. HIAS means to work together.
A space to continue the dialogue between immigrant and refugee youth and native youth, to find ways to learn about each other, share stories, and also build bridges, and understanding the different barriers that both communities face, and also the specificities of the experiences and ways to work together in solidarity.
It's a very unique situation in Vancouver. You know, it's the unceded Coast Salish territories of the Squamish, the Musqueam, and the Tsleil-Waututh nations. You know, and so unceded territory, meaning that this land was never ceded, it was never given over to the crown. There was never any treaty signed here, so very much this whole urban sprawl is built upon Indigenous lands.
Does that mean the land I'm living on, my house, is not mine and it can be taken away from me? I think people actually do still have those questions.
Just by understanding each other's stories, I think is one step forward. Because so often we look at each other, but we really don't understand or care sometimes.
The 13th Prime Minister, Eugene Bakr, he allowed federal elections in 1960. The first election was 1962. Before this, we were just wards of the state. We weren't citizens.
My son is about to turn 4, and if the residential school system was still in place, he would be almost at the time where the Indian agent would come and take him, put him in a school where he would not be allowed to speak his language. He would not be allowed to practice his culture. And if he did those sorts of things, he would be punished for that.
What are the things that we actually have in common and we can use as resources together as we live in this very culturally diverse climate?
I mean, we can't really solve a problem that we don't know about.
It's important for me to learn about them, to learn about the history of colonization, and also to share some of the similarities we face with Indigenous people and celebrate the differences.
When we all get together like this, we become stronger and we knowledge and everything.
My hope is that as an immigrant and youth, people that hold the power are able to listen to us, like we're able to speak up and lead and like understand where we come from, and maybe like things will get equal one day.
I would like to see immigrant and refugee communities and native communities represented in positions of power, and I would like to see more access and opportunity and all the barriers of poverty overcome.
Our responsibility after we leave this place, I think that's really important. Yeah, we can come here, we can talk about it, we can share our stories, but what do we do when we're out of this place and we're back in the world, if you will?
It's youth being engaged, because we're the next generation that's going to be in power. In the power, the Staircase of Oppression workshop, we learned about how the middle-aged population is the one in power and how youth are the one that are often seen as oppressed. And I think now that we're going to be getting to that age where we're going to be in power, we can really change that.
Across many cultures, there's this prevalent sense of urgency to do this work now.
I mean, my thing going forward is to try to create more of these sessions and dialogues.
We need to listen to other people's voices and to make the world a better place to live in.
We have a lot of powers, and sometimes we don't realize how powerful we are until we come together.